Hello and welcome back to the MOOcast. This is episode 3, and after a couple weeks off for real life getting in the way, we are back. I am Mike O'Mara, and I am joined here by
Andrea Musolf
and
Greg Obert.
And this is the MOOcast. We're bringing the gaming news from the Moo straight to you. And we are going to lead off tonight, as we always do, talking about what we've been playing in the last week or so. So, Greg, why don't you lead us off? What have you been spinning around in your disk drive, my man?
Well, the past couple weeks, actually. I actually just moved this past week, so things have been kind of packed up. But before that, I was getting into Zelda Skyward Sword, as I said I would. I finally started it. And, I got to that halfway point. For those of you that know Zelda games, ever since, I feel like it was A Link to the Past, you have to get, 3 things, and then some big event happens, and then that's an excuse for you to get even more things.
Right.
So, I got the 3 things, I hit my big event, so, I always consider that, a halfway point.
So at the halfway point of the game, what would you say was your rating? If you were going to give it a 1 to 10, what is this one for you?
I'd probably give it, an 8.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people gave it a lot higher, and I can just imagine the comments that I'll be getting for saying that, but honestly, the motion controls really take me out of the experience. It's a well-made game. The story's there, the Zelda elements are there, but it's just the way you have to navigate the world is stupid. Just give me, it's just plain stupid. I don't know if any of you have played it, but all I have to say is the flight controls. What is that? It's so dumb. So, for me, just give me a regular controller. I would have preferred it. So...
Do you think that's ever going to go away? Do you think is it ever really going to get to a point... when the Wii came out, everyone freaked out for about, half a year, and the whole world got it because... we were thinking this feels just like real tennis. Oh, it feels just like real running, or whatever, But in the end, you're just waving your hand around like a doofus. And I mean, it's fun for a while if other people are doing it with you, but in the end, you're just a doofus waving your arm around. So, is it ever going to get to the point where we're actually going to want to point our fingers like guns at our screen instead of holding a controller that has true one-to-one control? I mean, do we think in the next generation or so that that's going to get to that point?
I mean, if it gets to that point, it'll be around. But the problem is, it's not going away because Nintendo has staked its entire hardware division on it. I mean,
right.
The Wii sold like hotcakes.
Right.
It is all about motion control. The Wii U is just going to carry that on.
Right.
So it's not going away anytime soon, at least on Nintendo's end.
Right.
What do you think, Andrea?
I'm impressed with the Kinect. Just, you don't even need the controller. It's all the wavy hand stuff. So
right.
I feel I could see it being possible to have just the pretend gun as your hand in the game. I mean, why not?
I don't know. I don't know. I had such high hopes, being the nerd that I am, that Kinect Star Wars would come out and it would fulfill my childhood dream of waving my hands around like the Emperor and seeing lightning come out. And it just doesn't work. It still feels it's still clunky enough that I can't really get into the imagination of it. So I'm hoping maybe in the next generation they'll remedy that, because I desperately want my Force Lightning to work.
Well, you still have Force Lightning. You just have to do it while you're dancing.
Right? Yeah. You have to do it while wiggling my hips, which is not something I'm best at.
Do you really?
Yeah. There's a dancing mini game. It sucks.
You can get down as the Emperor, zap lightning on your fingers.
Oh, well, rock on.
The less said about that game, probably the better. It's absolutely horrible. Andrea, what have you been playing the last week or so?
Oh, well, I have been playing Mass Effect 3.
More Mass Effect 3?
On Insanity, because I actually beat the game on normal difficulty. It was awesome.
She's trying to copy me and get all the achievements.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try.
I have sadly pooped out on Mass Effect 3. I really love the game, and at some point I think I love it enough that I will do an Insanity run, but for now I am spending what precious little game time I have leveling my soldier up in Battlefield 3. I am still having a blast with that game, and I wish that these two would join me, but they will not enlist, which upsets me greatly.
Well, I did spend some money this week on a new game, but it's sadly not Battlefield.
Oh.
I bought Rayman Origins.
How's that?
And it's amazing.
Yeah?
That, to me, is, a more solid experience than Zelda, just because it's so familiar.
Yeah.
And I'm not waving my arms around like an idiot.
Right.
But it's really fun. I mean, for those of you that grew up on the old school 2D platformers, I definitely recommend it. I played co-op with one of my friends. We did the 2-player thing. It's 4-player though.
That's really cool.
So I recommend it. It was like $30-$40 now.
Now, how does the co-op in that game work? Is it a tether? Does the screen zoom out when you get far away from each other, or do you have to stay within a certain distance from one another?
No, yeah, you have to stay within a certain distance or you die.
Oh, wow.
But it's not like...
It's like marriage.
Something like that. But it's very easy to bounce back. I don't know if that's what it's like.
Yeah, also like a marriage.
You turn into a bubble if you die, and so you have to float over to your
got
friend,
it.
and then they
That's
hit
like
you.
Yoshi's Island, right? Didn't Yoshi's Island do that? Like if you fell off Yoshi in the Super Nintendo one, you like boom, you like float back to him. Yeah.
It's more like a new Super Mario Brothers Wii.
There you go.
For the Wii, but
yeah, for the Genesis.
It has a few things that were corrected. Like in Mario, you'd bounce off one another, and it would be really frustrating because if you were trying to do a precise jump, you just like bounce off your friend right into the lava.
Right.
But there's none of that in this, so it's really nice.
Oh, cool. Excellent. So before we get into the summer lull, which is usually the saddest time for us gamers because there's this period between about like May and November when nothing comes out and everything comes out right around Thanksgiving, as we all know. Are there any games that coming up in the relatively near future that you're excited about, Greg?
There is nothing coming to mind right away. I mean, like you said, most of the stuff is coming out at the end of the year.
Right.
So, for the time being, I'd have to say no.
Really? Andrea?
Yeah, nothing recent. I have a couple games that I'm waiting for. Yeah, the end of the year.
Oh my God! I am officially now the biggest nerd. Okay, so let's go down what I'm excited about just this month. So I just picked up Sniper Elite version 2, which is a sequel to a game that came out on original Xbox on 2005, and it's like a realistic ballistic dropping type of sniper simulator set in the end of World War II. And you would think that World War II has been done to death, and maybe for some it has, but for me, I'm a huge history fan, so I like replaying killing them Nazis as much as I can. So I just picked that one up, and that's fun. And then later this month, I'm going to get Starhawk for PS3, which is the spiritual successor to Warhawk, PS1 game. It's fantastic. And then later on this month, I'm getting Max Payne 3, which is coming out on the 15th, and on the same day, the Game of Thrones action RPG comes out, so I'm getting 2 for 1 that day. And then later on this month, at the end of the month, Ghost Recon Future Soldier comes out. I could not be more excited about this month. I am going to play so many games, I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
I've never played any of the Ghost Recon games, but I hear good things about it, and I feel like I should join in.
They are fantastic. Now, I'm hoping that Ubisoft is being honest here when they say that this newest one is going to be a return to form, because the original Ghost Recon games were highly tactical and you had to plan everything out and you really had to have a good team to win. But then in the recent past, the last 2 games have been just like action macho fest, like Michael Bay movies, kind of trying to be like Call of Duty, and not what Ghost Recon was to me when it started out. So I have high hopes for this one. We'll see what happens. Kind of on that line of speaking, on that topic of like over actionizing games. In the past couple of weeks, there have been reports out of Japan that have had some pretty high level guys at Capcom. Capcom and where else, Greg? Maybe just at Capcom.
I think it was just Capcom.
Yeah, well, Capcom hates itself because over the last couple of weeks they've been talking about how Japanese games have to become more and more, quote, American, and they have to up the action ante if they want to compete in a large market sense against things like Call of Duty and Battlefield. I don't know what you guys think about this. I know that for myself, I grew up on Japanese games. Like I remember the things that really got me hooked on video games were Street Fighter 2, of course Capcom, and Mega Man Capcom, and Zelda and Mario, and JRPGs out of Square. I remember when Chrono Trigger came out on Super Nintendo, and I just about killed myself out of excitement. in, what was that, ninth grade or something like that. So Japanese games used to be where it's at, and I can't even remember the last time I bought one, which is a little bit sad. What do you think about that, Andrea? Japanese games, should they become more like ours?
Not necessarily. I mean, well, you were talking about Greg was talking about the Resident Evil. I'll let him talk about that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess I did. I did start with Sonic, and I guess that was Japanese, wasn't it? Sonic.
Yeah.
I mean, like Sonic, Call of Duty, they're so different, but I like them both. I mean, Sonic was like that was the game that I played.
Absolutely.
Which is, I guess, you can compare that now to Call of Duty or Mass Effect or whatever. So no, I don't think they need to become more like the games that they are now, because they're like that for a reason.
Right.
Well, I don't want to have all my video games to be exactly the same.
Right, which is what they're
the differences.
Which is what they're becoming, especially if you're talking about shooters. Like, everything is trying to do whatever sells the most, and of course, what is that elephant in the room? It's Call of Duty. Like, so everything is trying to be like silky smooth, like look like an action movie, not really make you think too much. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Greg. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting argument that's coming out of Japan, and just to kind of bring you up to speed a little bit, for those of you that are a little confused maybe about what we're talking about, I know last year sometime, I'm pretty sure it was last year, the creator of Mega Man, Inafune? Yeah, probably butchered that, but...
what a fun name.
I know. It almost sounds like a fun name. It's fantastic.
But he ended up leaving Capcom because he was not happy with the direction of the company. He thought it was getting stagnant, and there weren't any new creative ideas coming out. And just recently, Shinji Mikami, who created Resident Evil, he came out and said that he wasn't happy with it. And, it's just interesting to see some of these big players criticize their own market and say that, like, wow, they really don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And I mean, just coming off Mike's point, even Capcom itself came out and said Resident Evil 6, which is coming out in October, if I remember correctly, it has to be full of action. Like, it has to be more action-y.
Right, or no one will buy it.
Because that's mainstream, which, for me, who enjoyed Resident Evil 1 and, 0, the remake of 1 and 0, it was... That's like blasphemy. Like, you're just taking out everything that made it great so that you can appeal to a broader audience. Well, maybe you make more money, in my opinion, but like, you're killing your fan base slowly because you're not giving them what they want, which is survival horror, and not like having Chris with 17 biceps,
bigger than his head.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So. That's my take.
Who needs green herbs, though, when you've got biceps like that?
Well...
He can heal himself just by curling.
I guess.
Right. Well, I mean, as we sit here and talk about how everything should be pure and the way it should be, I must admit that I have already pre-ordered Black Ops 2 this week. So I'm part of the problem as well as hopefully part of the solution. I must admit to all you listeners out there that we are waiting on some pizza, and I'm actually going to go to the door to potentially get this pizza. So I'm going to start this next conversation and then leave for a second. But don't worry, dear listeners, I'll be right back. We are finally going to do it, folks. We're going to talk about the Mass Effect 3 ending.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we have been waiting for 3 podcasts.
Already.
Well, but now you're going to hear our perspective, and I'm just going to start it off here by saying, it sucks. Guys, discuss.
Okay.
Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay, well, I finished the game very late. I remember it was a Saturday, maybe like, 2 weeks ago now? A week ago? I don't know. But anyway... Greg and I were chatting online when I finished it, and I don't stay up late, like super late. But, okay, I made an exception for this game. I was up until 5 a.m. playing this game, and then Greg and I talked about it for a while. But I remember when I finished, it was like, what? And, so Greg's like, okay, well, let's discuss. I didn't know where to start. I was just so confused. But yeah, so I stayed up way past my bedtime, and when I went to sleep, I remember listening to the birds chirp. I'm like, oh my god, I don't do this, but I did it for Mass Effect 3. So yeah, I was confused. I hope there's more. Now as I'm going through this, I'm trying to think, well, where do I start? I guess one of the obvious things was that at the end, no matter what choices you make, the ending's the same. It was, well, here's option A, B, and C. Okay, great. Which color light beam do I want the universe to explode?
The color of that light made all the difference.
Oh.
It completely changed the ending.
Yeah,
So,
clearly. Oh, goodness.
now, I remember your original choice was
I destroyed the
destroy,
Reapers,
right?
yes. I'm like, nah, no. It was my whole mission throughout these 3 games to destroy the freaking lobster wannabes. So I did it. Like, no, I'm not going to have these. No. Why would you do that? Why would Shepard have a sudden change of heart? Like, oh, well, maybe I should do this. It's like, no. It was the whole goal to destroy them. So
See, and that's the big debate that we have going on, at least the gamers with BioWare, is what actually happened. Because to me, seeing Shepard act the way he did with that godchild.
Oh, the child. Don't know.
All right, pizza's not here yet. I have to get in on this.
Oh.
It is insane.
But
the ending's insane.
It's just like, he just went quietly into the night. It was like...
Right, and that's not Shepard's deal.
No.
It can't be Shepard's deal.
Not to mention, like, we're not even going into some of the evidence, which we will, about, like, indoctrination theory and what that might mean.
And why it must be true.
But,
I hope so.
Just how he interacted. Like, I get the fact that he was... By the way, in case you didn't know, there's going to be some spoilers here.
Yeah,
so,
spoiler cast,
yeah. But,
the game ends.
I get that he was freaking burned by Harbinger's laser beam,
Right.
but, like, come on. He's not going to just let that kid thing walk all over him.
Okay, so let's just let's take this step by step, okay? Because some people haven't had all the nerd research that we have. So let's examine this, okay? So spoilers, sorry. So you get to the end of the game, okay? You get to the end of the game. After all this struggle, all this strife, you've assembled your final strike force, and Anderson's going to lead you down this valley that leads to the only way to beam yourself up to the Citadel, okay? So you go with your strike team, and you're running in slow-mo towards the beam, and all hell breaks loose. Like, Reapers are attacking from everywhere, and Harbinger's there, and he's frying everyone. So he's frying people left and right while you're trying to run straight down and on this suicide mission to get to the beam. And you get fried, okay? So you get fried, boom, blackout. Now, what have we learned, first of all, about Reaper blasts throughout this whole thing? If you get fried, are you going to live? No, you're not going to live. You're toast. It toasts buildings. Why wouldn't it toast you? Okay, so fine. It's fine. Somehow you get grazed by a laser that's 3 feet, like 3 city blocks wide, okay? Okay, but he misses somehow. The first time in history, he misses. Okay, so you are grazed by the huge laser. Then you wake up and continue the story from there, Greg.
All right, well, when you wake up in this very dazed-like state. And you're hearing people on the radio be like, oh, everybody's dead, we gotta retreat. But Shepard gets up, and you see Harbinger fly away, which didn't make any sense to me.
Why does he peace out?
Because he's a freaking machine. He's a methodical killing machine. If he saw Shepard move...
Especially Shepard,
that first instinct would be fry him again. That's what I would do if I was Harbinger.
I think his first instinct would be, why did my 3 city block wide laser beam not laser him?
Maybe, yeah. But anyways...
Give me some of that armor.
You're stumbling around and you're like trying to get to this beam, and you shoot a couple Reapers and you shoot the valiant Marauder Shields.
Marauder Shields!
Rest in peace, Marauder
He
Shields.
tried.
He tried. So you have infinite ammo, and like you're in this dazed state, which blows my mind because I'm like, okay, why do you have infinite ammo?
Right, so first thing, tactical shooter, somehow you have infinite ammo. Why is everything in slow-mo? Also, Andrea, did you notice the trees?
Yes.
Why does everything get fried in the middle of London? Why are the same floaty trees there that are in your dreams for the whole rest of the game? Mm-hmm. Crazy town, people. Crazy.
Crazy.
Okay.
So, just to continue with the craziness, Shepard stumbles into the beam, and oh my gosh, he's going to do it. He's going to get there. He's going to stop the Reapers. He's stumbling through the Citadel, and he meets up with Anderson, who claims to have come out at some other exit
that you've never seen.
That we've never seen. There's only one way into this control room, but somehow he got there a different way because space magic.
Yeah.
Right. So you have this big discussion with Anderson, but then.
Well, first you go through. Oh wait, let's back up a second. So you get up, and you're obviously wounded. You've obviously been fried by a huge laser, and you get up in the Citadel. There's been no discussion of how you beamed up there. You somehow got through the atmosphere with no helmet on, and you wake up in the Citadel, and Anderson's coming over your radio and saying, "I'm just ahead of you. I'm just ahead of you." And then when you get up, you're in like this dead person holding camp that didn't make any sense to me. Like it's like a garage full of dead mannequins. It's disturbing, first of all, and next it doesn't make any sense. Like again, if these are methodical machines that don't have to rest for anything, wouldn't you stack your bodies better? Like if you're going to use these bodies for something, wouldn't you just put them in Ziploc bags somewhere? Why are they just thrown everywhere? It didn't make any sense to me. It looked like a twisted dream. It didn't look like reality. Not at all. So you get through the dead holding garage, and you're walking through the Citadel, and you get to this control room where Anderson's already there. How? We don't know. He didn't come in through another door. He was apparently just in front of you. Okay, that's all great. But then, who pops out but... the elusive man!
Fail.
No, I was thinking...
you were thinking.
Sorry.
She's not a true fan. You heard it here first. So you get to the control room, and Mr. Elusive Man pops up behind you. Now, how did he come up behind you?
Well, if you back up even before that, the radio, who was it that said it? Everyone's dead.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
They clearly said it.
Yeah. But you guys are fine, everyone's fine, great.
But now, the crazy thing is, apparently, somehow the Reaper's like, oh yeah, Mr. Elusive Man, we want you on our team and you can totally control us. So now, he's implanted himself with Reaper tech.
Right.
And so,
he's even creepier
somehow...
He's got robot acne by this point.
Somehow, he's got mind control powers. And so he, causes Shepard to shoot Anderson.
Right.
Shoots him in the side. Anderson's, fine. He just, grunts. But he's fine. You'd think you got shot in the side.
Yeah, you might keel over.
Be dead.
Yeah.
Well, you can convince... There's a couple ways you can do it. You can convince the Elusive Man to shoot himself. You can shoot him if you want to go that route. And either way, you resolve the situation. Anderson dies.
Mm-hmm.
So then what? Do you remember what happened?
Well, you have the wound in the side.
Right. Well, that's the crazy thing. So you open the arms to the Citadel because that was the whole mission. You have to open the arms to attach the crucible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shepard collapses and holds his side like he got shot and he's bleeding. Except in the same spot that Anderson got shot, but he was not shot in the side. So where's this fresh blood coming from?
Curious.
It doesn't make much sense.
Ooh.
So then after that, you get a call from Admiral Hackett, who's telling you, Shepard, we need your help. Nothing's happening.
And also, how did he contact him? You have no helmet anymore, and all of your tech in your suit is fried to you. So how is he contacting?
But magical space radio.
But let's just say somehow, amazingly, the radio survived. So he's calling you, but why? He has no idea that you're alive. As you were waking up, as we mentioned earlier, people are flying away saying, oh my gosh,
all is lost.
Gosh, everyone's dead. So why all of a sudden is he contacting you?
Right.
Okay, whatever. So Shepard, is trying to push a button, keels over, and then, rises up on this magical elevator up to the crucible. And so, when you get there, you meet the Godchild.
Oh, I hate that kid.
Godchild.
Don't sugarcoat it. Tell me how you really feel.
Okay, so this creepy kid. It's like, oh, I know. Oh, I'm so awesome.
Why does he look like a human?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's part of the Reaper world. The thing that I hated the most, if I had to, number all of the things and list them in order about the ending that I hated the most, is that Shepard just went along with anything this creepy child would say.
Right.
Just child's explaining everything, and Shepard's like, oh, okay, all right.
That sounds good then.
What? No!
Right.
No!
So in this game,
absolutely
in
not.
this universe, and in this series that has taken us through half a decade of making every choice, suddenly at the most important point of the most important game, we are left with nothing. Shepard just stands there and takes it. Like after he's taken suicide mission after suicide mission, after he's seen all of his friends or her friends died and fried all around him or her. Like at the most important point, Shepard's just like, whatever you say, ghost child that sort of looks like a human for no reason. Like I can't buy it. And then we're not even to the worst part. So then you get to the end, and the kid's like, okay, well, here's what you can do then, Shepard. You can blow us all away, and that will kill all the Reapers. Oh, Pizza's here. Continue.
Yeah.
It would kill all the Reapers, and, like, I guess you could do that, but, you know, that's probably not a smart decision. Here are two other options that are way better and would totally make things just amazing. One of which is control the Reapers, and the other is, like, become one with the Reapers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing that I just found a little bizarre, and I'm pretty sure you did as well, Andrea, was just the fact that the good Paragon ending, which to be Paragon means to sacrifice as little as possible. Every life matters. And the good ending is control the Reapers. Which doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, how can anyone control the Reapers? Everybody has failed, but this godchild, who has this, like, devious, like, look on his face, at least that's what I thought. The camera lingered on him a little too long when you chose the control option.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, how can Shepard control them? Like, this child, I think this child is flat out lying.
Yeah.
And so, then, you know, you could choose the synthesized ending, but what happens? Like, it's essentially the same ending, except, oh, now you're one with the Reapers.
And the green lights. Don't forget
And
the green
light.
Green light.
But, so, like, the renegade option, which is, you know, sacrifice the few to save the many.
Right.
Like, that's the whole point of it, is let's destroy the Reapers. And that is basically just going to cause massive amounts of chaos, and nothing is ever going to be good. Because the kid says, well, you destroy, like, synthetic life, then, you know, future generations will just create synthetic life, which will kill you anyways. But yet, for those of you who resolved the Quarian Geth War, what happened at the end? Oh, I'm a Geth. Hey,
Right.
Quarian, why don't we live on this planet together?
Right,
in
and
harmony?
everything is cool.
Everything's cool. Like,
I almost forgot about that.
what? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. So it's
So-
already been disproven by the series' own logic. So how can we then say that if X equals X, this X does not equal X? Like, this one equals Y. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the overarching thing is, why is it so oversimplified? It's this series is so detailed, with so much choice. And then at the end, we're left with something that basically gives us the same cutscene with different colors. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So we are hoping, and we know that you out there in Nerdville, all over the world and the internets, are also hoping that it can only be the indoctrination theory.
I hope so.
It has to be the indoctrination theory, which essentially says that Shepard has been indoctrinated by the Reapers, and it's all a dream. It has to be. It has to be. Doesn't it?
It has to be.
It has to be.
Because here's a little bit of evidence presented by both Andrea and myself after some research. One of the things that I didn't get was that the mass relays, no matter what ending you pick, they all explode.
Right.
Yep.
They all explode. Now, I don't know how many of you played the Arrival DLC in Mass Effect 2, but here's some more spoilers for you. You end up blowing up a mass relay,
Yeah.
and that explosion wipes out an entire solar system.
Right.
Like, just gone, off the map. What was it, like 30 million
Right.
lives?
Ton.
Just gone.
Right. Batarians effed.
So,
Yep.
you know, whatever Shepard would have done, any of the three endings would have done way more damage
If that logic holds
than
true,
the
yeah.
Reapers could have ever thought possible.
Right. He would just
It's-
done the job for them.
Like, everything would be wiped out at that point. So, like, I didn't get that point. And the other thing that I'm going to bring up, and then I'll shut up and Andrea can say a little bit, but the bonus ending. for those of you that get a high enough, who collect enough war assets, it was over 5,000 points?
Yeah.
Yes, because Greg lied to me.
I thought it was 4,000, and Andrea didn't get the bonus ending.
Always
so-
get your asset count right.
Yeah. But if you get over 5,000 points, and you choose the Renegade ending, which is Destroy the Reapers,
Oh, yeah.
you get a little bonus scene of Shepard in some rubble. Well, not necessarily Shepard. You see N7 armor, and it's in this rubble that looks like Earth.
Right.
And the breath is taken, like the chest plate rises up.
Right.
And so, for me, it's like, with the Citadel exploding, Shepard wouldn't have survived. I mean, he can't survive re-entry. That was the beginning of Mass Effect 2.
Right.
He'd be dead.
Right.
And the rubble looks more like Earth. So, that's some evidence for indoctrination theory that Shepard is still on Earth and this entire thing is happening in his mind.
Right.
Ooh, that reminds me. Going along with that, at the end, you know, when Joker is flying away in the Normandy, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, that would not happen. But all your little space friends that were in the battle with you are magically on the ship.
How did they get on that
fine.
ship?
Was I glad that Hot Space Guy was alive and well?
Of course you
oh,
were.
yes. But
For-
it didn't make sense.
no,
But now he has to repopulate the world with Joker.
We need... Okay. For some reason, just to throw this out there, Andrea fell for Caden.
Right.
Of all
He's hot.
people to fall for, she fell for whiny,
Right.
annoying
Right.
Caden over Liara.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Garrus.
Hot Space
Or
Guy.
Garrus.
Oh, I do like Garrus. He's
Garrus
pretty
is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Much better kisser too.
Yeah.
So I've heard. Yeah, but it just like, okay, for everyone out in the internet world knows at this point that BioWare has responded to the nerd rage, and they have said at this point that they are releasing more DLC later in the summer, and it's going to quote unquote expand upon the endings because they love their fans so much. Fantastic. I'm just saying right now, if the indoctrination theory was not their theory to begin with, they better make it their theory now. Because if this comes out in the summertime and it's just like another series of vignettes that tell the same ridiculous story that we've been hearing now, I think they're going to have a big problem on their hands.
Oh, absolutely.
I really do. I really do.
But the thing is, you know, BioWare is full of such talented writers. And
Right.
I guess I want to preface this, just all of it, with, if BioWare ever listens to this, you know, like, they're amazing. Like, I love
Oh, of course they
Mass
are.
Effect
Yeah.
3.
Absolutely.
And the only reason I'm so critical of the ending is because I love it so much.
Right.
But, I mean, the world that they created over the past 5 years,
Right.
I mean, longer for them, is just absolutely incredible. Just countless hours of fun.
Right.
But yeah, like, just the pieces that they put in place suggest that there's more. There's evidence throughout the entire game, and we could fill up a whole podcast with it,
Right.
but I mean, I'm sure you've all heard some of the evidence anyways. But it's just, like, it has to be there.
It has to be.
You can't, like, they are intentionally putting these things in the game. It's not like, oh, we just happened to put this conversation here or this option here.
Mhm.
You know, like, they made it that way for a reason.
Right.
So something more is there, at least in my mind.
There's a method to the madness, I'm hoping.
I hope so. I mean, I hope that it's not us giving them too much credit. Like, to me, it can be only one of two things. It's either the best writing there's ever been in a video game ever, and we've all been indoctrinated along with Shepard, and they're going to pull the big haha on us this summer, and I will bow down to them if that is the case. Or it's a sad it's a sad commentary on business as usual these days, which is they either ran out of time, they needed to make their ship window, they wanted to get their project done to make their bazillions. Like, it was something like that happens like all too much in entertainment, not just in games, but in games, too. So it's one of those two things, and I would really hope for it not to be the latter, because I really do respect that company quite a bit and everything that they've put out thus far. So until the true ending comes out, I guess the nerd rage will continue. Talking about nerd rage and what's coming out later this year, Black Ops 2 was just announced last week, and they came out with a sexy trailer that shows some near-future warfare, and it worked on me because I already pre-ordered it. Knowing that all three of us around the table tonight are big Call of Duty fans, let's spend a little bit of time talking about this. So, Black Ops 2, Andrea. Do you like where it's going? Do you like this near future thing, or would you rather it stay in reality?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I love Call of Duty, as you know. The first Black Ops, I enjoyed. I mean, I certainly put, I don't know how many hours into it, the campaign and then the multiplayer. But for some reason, and I'm not really quite sure what it is, I can't put my finger on it, but I just don't like it as much as Modern Warfare. The Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Even the, Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare.
Right.
Just the whole Modern Warfare series. Musolf approved.
Is that mostly, speaking of the gameplay, is there something about the slight difference in control, or is it something about the visuals, or something about the story, or what is that? Because a lot of people would say that Call of Duty is Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Like, that's a criticism given to the series quite a bit, that no matter who is making it, it kind of just follows the same formula. So why do you think that you like Modern Warfare series so much better than the Black Ops?
At least for the campaign, I just enjoyed the campaign more in Modern Warfare series because I went back and I played those games on Veteran. And Soap.
I was waiting for Soap.
That's why you like it. But have you seen the trailer though? The guy in the new one's pretty rugged.
Soap is way
Come
hotter.
on, Wood.
He's gone. He's gone. Let him go. Let him go, Andrew.
I can't do that.
Let him go.
Soap aside, I liked the campaign more. I don't know. The story was more interesting to me. And I played through all those on Veteran. I'm actually still in the process of going through the first Modern Warfare on Veteran. I'm stuck at the end.
Ooh, it's a hard one.
The War Room. Oh,
yes.
I don't know how many times I rage quit that one.
You still have the Mile High Club to do.
I know. I really want to be a part of the Mile High Club. I want to be.
You heard it here first. She said it.
Where was I? Black Ops. So the campaign in Black Ops, it was okay. I kind of just played through it just because.
You didn't like killing fake Fidel Castro? I love that part.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Pretty sweet.
But then I started it on Veteran, and I didn't get very far. And then I rage quit, and then I haven't tried it again since.
That game is hard on Veteran.
It is very hard.
Yeah, it's so the campaigns, I just like the Modern Warfare ones more. And then multiplayer, I don't know if it has something to do because it really was like love at first sight with Modern Warfare 2. And this one, it was good. I like it. I don't know. I really don't know. It's so hard for me to answer. Is it it's not the gameplay. It's the same.
Right.
I think now that I'm thinking about it, I like in Modern Warfare, you can do the kill streak stacking.
Right.
This one, you gotta if you want the dogs, you actually have to get 11 kills. Your chopper can't get them for you. Which is cool. It's a different twist, you know.
I actually really prefer the way that Modern Warfare 3 does it. I really love that they added in types of perks and because anyone who has seen me play knows that I'm kind of a psychopath and I just run in the middle of everything and get killed a million times.
But that's why you're so good at kill confirm.
But that also means that I get tons and tons of assists. It means I help my teammates out, and that's what I like doing in games like that. So for me, the support perks in Modern Warfare 3 were the reason I played it so long and why I still can pop it in and have a good time with it, because I'm not going to get the most kills. At least I'm not going to get the most kills versus deaths. That's never going to happen to me because I am a psychopath, and I'll just run in there and get killed a million times. So I really do hope that they keep that. As far as the futuristic setting is concerned, I'm actually quite psyched about this because, so many modern shooters have been, the modern shooter thing has been so popular the last couple of years. I feel like I keep using the same guns in different games. I go from Battlefield 3, I'm like, oh, I really like the UMP, and then I go to Modern Warfare 3, I'm like, oh, I really like the UMP. Okay, great, it's a great gun, but I want something different out of my shooters now. So if they're going to bring some, just a slight bit of sci-fi into it, so it's somewhere between Call of Duty and Halo, I would be yes, I love that. So I'm hoping for that. Also, they have been hinting that the zombie mode is now going to be story-based and 8-player co-op.
Ooh, really?
Which I
missed that.
would love. Yeah. What do you think, Greg?
Well, I don't think I'm as big of a Call of Duty fan as both of you. I've started playing online last summer Modern Warfare 2.
Mm.
I played the campaigns since Call of Duty 2, so I love the campaigns. I think they're a lot of fun.
Right.
Black Ops I played a little bit online, and it was solid. I liked the way they did some things. I liked the credit system, actually, because I like how you can unlock whatever you want whenever you want.
Right.
As opposed to, you want extended mags?
Why
don't you use this gun for 10 hours?
Right.
And then you can have them.
Right.
So, I did like that.
I think Treyarch has proven themselves with Black Ops, and I guess I should be more excited for Black Ops 2 because, what with the whole splintering of Infinity Ward and that whole debacle, I think Treyarch is probably at least for the time being, the king of Call of Duty.
Right, it's their time.
I don't know. I haven't heard any, horror stories coming out of there about, heads leaving because they weren't paid bonuses and whatnot. Right. But, I'll give them credit where credit's due, and I guess I'll give it a shot.
Right.
But,
well,
if I were to say I was more excited about Black Ops 2 over Halo 4, then I'd be lying to you.
Oh, Halo 4. I just popped in Halo Anniversary this morning for a bit and replayed some of that campaign, and it is astounding to me how smooth that game runs. It just feels, that game just feels right. It's beautiful. So let's wrap up tonight by talking about what we are going to be focusing on game-wise maybe in the next week, what we're planning on playing or some achievements we're planning on getting or what we're looking forward to. Greg, why don't you start us off?
Well, I'm going to continue Rayman Origins. I am having a ton of fun with that game. So I'm going to keep that up, and hopefully, once I settle in a bit more, I can unpack my Wii and...
Whoa! Oh, he didn't mean it that way. Okay.
Well, So yeah, hopefully I can get that out and play some more Zelda. So that's my goal for the week.
Right. Andrea, what you doing this week?
Mass Effect 3 on Insanity. I know I really need to branch out and play more games. But I guess what I do is I get a new game and then I like to play it until I'm absolutely sick of it.
You're a lifer.
Except for L.A. Noire.
No.
And...
Uh-oh. Outed.
Well, I guess that's another topic for another time.
Uh-oh.
But so I guess we've just been talking about so much about Mass Effect lately. So I'm kind of boring. I'm going to be playing Mass Effect 3 on Insanity.
What about you, Mike?
Oh, I'm gonna play some more Battlefield 3, I think, and I actually got the Walking Dead Telltale Games release last week, and that was fantastic. I can't believe I actually didn't bring it up until the end of this podcast. But if any of you out there want a good zombie game, get the Walking Dead. Especially if you like the comic book, it's got a really unique style and it's fantastic. And I played through it once. I'm probably going to play through it again to make some different choices, but that's a great adventure game. So I'll probably replay that this week. Some Battlefield 3. I was inspired by a couple survival modes in Modern Warfare 3 today. I realized that I actually do really like that game, so I'm probably going to get back into that a little bit this week. And everything else will be leading me up to Starhawk and Max Payne 3, because I can't wait for those two games in the next couple of weeks. So,
I forgot to mention, what about Diablo? Are you?
Oh my God, Diablo 3! Oh my God! Yes, I'm getting Diablo 3 on release day as well. Oh my God, that makes a million games this month. I really hope my wife never hears this episode. It's so many games. All right, well, we're going to be off to eat our pizza here, but we hope that you've enjoyed our episode 3, and we promise we won't take as much time between this one and the next one. Till we talk to you next. We hope you have a great time gaming your hearts out, and please like us on YouTube and find us on Facebook, and we will see you later. Moo!